Welcome back to our channel.
My name is Oliver.
And I'm Simone.
And welcome to the Williams family journey.
That's right. Getting
Bing.
it.
All right, Simone, hit him with the YouTube stuff.
All right. Thanks for being back here. If you haven't, please subscribe.
Down
Thanks
below.
for being here. Hit the bell so you could be notified every time we have a video.
You upload a video.
Every time we upload a video.
Yeah.
Yes. For those who have been here, still rocking with us, we appreciate you. Thank you for keeping up with us.
Pretty much.
Yeah, going along this journey with us.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And if you're new here, what's up?
Yeah, welcome.
Welcome.
Hope you stay.
Yeah. Alrighty, so today's video, we're making another pregnancy update video. Simone is 38 weeks going on 39 weeks.
Yes.
Correction from last video. We're not going into the future. We're in the now. Mm-hmm. So on Friday, Simone is full term pregnancy.
Yes.
We've made it. We made videos when we just found out.
Yeah.
Now we're at the tail end of it. We're more than 95% done.
Let's just kind of clap for us. We did it. We kept up.
There we go. We kept up. We did it.
Yeah.
All the ups and downs. Well,
yep.
Not too many downs.
Yeah,
the ups and down. One down. And yeah, so everything is going well. Let's start with we'll start with the update, then we'll fill you in what we've been doing because it's very interesting.
Should we tell them first what this video is going to be about?
It's a pregnancy update.
Okay.
A pregnancy update.
Because sometimes we break it down a little bit. Okay.
Yeah. We'll break it down as we go.
Okay.
All right. So let's start off with Simone. How are you feeling?
Okay. I feel very pregnant now. I feel very pregnant. As the baby keeps dropping, I could feel that in my pelvic floor, my birth canal. I could feel all that there, and I started using the bathroom again frequently. I mean, at night I think I get up on average of like 5 times.
Is it as much or more than your first trimester?
I think it's kind of like the same.
The same. Okay.
I think it's kind of like the same. Like the only time that was kind of okay was like in the middle, like the second trimester was okay. But now it's back to like, yeah. So I'm waking up a lot, going to use the bathroom a lot, during the day a lot. In terms of how I have been feeling, I'm still able to go on my walk. I have been doing 10,000 steps at least from Monday to Saturday. So I've been doing that, except on day, maybe like today, I might not be able to do it because we had a lot of appointments. So I'm doing that. In terms of like when it comes to my symptoms, so basically it's just like going to use the bathroom more often, feeling my pelvic floor more because the baby is like
heading down,
like there,
literally.
But which is what we want according to the midwives. That's what you want. You want a baby going down. What else? I had a little bit of cramps, especially when
What kind of cramps?
Like on my calves. So I think the first time after I got that, like maybe the second time or the second week after I got the lightning crush thingy, and when the baby first dropped, right? I think I went to the bathroom that time maybe like 6 times, and I think I peed so much that I guess I lost a lot of electrolytes along the way. So for 2 days, I had like light cramps. It wasn't so much. It was more on my right side compared to my left. So the next day I was able to get, my electrolyte back. And the left side went right away. The right side took like a day and a half or 2 days. And then now it's back to normal, right? Right. What else? The nausea only happens if I'm eating like banana. Like I made a smoothie and I had a lot of banana inside. It just kind of like gave me more nausea for the rest of the day. So if I'm eating banana, probably just a little bit. My appetite is there. The Braxton Hicks. Oh my God.
Braxton Hicks.
Those things are like.
If you don't know what that is, that's pretty much, they call it practice contractions. And what Simone feels is it's like a hardening of the stomach.
Right
literally.
Now, it's like happening right now. Like literally, you could bounce.
Yeah.
You could bounce a coin off like boop.
Yep.
So like at first I didn't really know what it was. I just kept on thinking, okay, it kind of feels like I'm bloated, but not really. But now I understand,
Yeah. So it happens throughout the day now.
yeah, it's like,
Throughout the day.
yep, like
Yep.
literally
Comes
right
and
now.
goes, comes and
Sometimes
goes.
they're a little longer, sometimes they're a
Mm-hmm.
bit shorter.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like it's really, really, really hard. Like, because sometimes you could like press and go a little bit more
Yeah.
inside, but like right now you can't really unless you kind of put a lot of force in there. So yeah, the Braxton Hicks are like
The
way
prominent.
way more prominent and way
Yeah.
more stronger. No pain still.
No sensation. You just know the feeling of it now.
Just the feeling, yeah.
Yeah. So there's no sensation. No, oh my goodness, it's uncomfortable. Just
I
there it
mean, it's
is.
a little
Is it?
uncomfortable. I mean, it's not pleasant.
Okay.
It's like imagine just like
But it doesn't hinder you from doing something.
no, it doesn't
No,
hinder
yeah,
me. Like
okay.
it doesn't. Yeah,
That's
it
what I
doesn't.
meant by uncomfortable.
Yeah. It doesn't hinder me from doing anything. What else do I wanted to add in terms of like?
Well, I could say that your feet start to swell, but not so. It's not. Don't think like it's a balloon or anything like that. Because
Yeah.
I've seen other pregnant women videos saying that their feet swelled up a lot where they couldn't walk. Simone doesn't have that. It's
Yeah.
just light swelling like where it's noticeable for me.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not the kind of swelling we've seen when we've done long distance flights.
Yeah.
It's not that kind.
No. Yeah.
It's just like it's okay. It's a little squishy.
Yeah.
A little squishy.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no because what I'm looking for is water retention.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that is. But there's none of that. Simone could flex her ankles and all that good stuff. So
Yeah.
it's just a little bit, which is good. And that's to how do I say? That's normal.
Yeah.
It happens and it's normal. So even
Yeah.
if it's a lot, then you
Yeah.
have to do something about that.
Like-
What's that called when it's a lot?
I don't.
It's called something. Okay, I forgot.
Maybe if you find it, maybe you put it up here.
Yeah, it's
And
called
I-
something when it's a lot and you
And I
have to do something.
think like the midwife, they were also checking like if because they check and they were like, okay, let's say you press and then you kind of like you take off your finger and there's still some kind of indentation. That's when you
Yeah.
have to worry.
Yeah.
That's when you have to really worry.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't have
Oh, I
any of
I
that.
had that on the tip of my tongue. Oh well. So
Yeah.
that's what I personally seen what I've been watching. Mm-hmm. But a lot of it happens when you take the long walks and come
Yeah.
back because and plus with the weather, so
Yeah,
it could be
it's
that kind
hot.
of swelling.
And I'm already kind of hot also. Yeah, exactly.
So that's good. Anything else?
No, I mean if
you're wobbling
Oh,
along.
Yeah, I know. Oh my God. It's like it's like before I used to just like, I mean, as in throughout the pregnancy, my body just kept adjusting and changing. But now I sit down, I get up, it's like, oh boy, it's, like I will move with my first few steps. I need a little while for me to adjust, and I'm just kind of like walking like a penguin,
Yeah.
walking like a penguin.
It used to be 10 steps after. I remember we said the video it was 10 steps after you got up.
Yeah,
But now
yeah.
it's like
It's like a penguin walk. Like I have to like really walk for a little while before my body could like okay warm up. So
Yeah,
basically,
pretty much.
it takes me a longer time to warm up. And okay, another thing also is like now getting off the bed is a little bit more challenging now.
Getting out the bed.
It's like
getting out the bed.
Getting out of bed, yeah. Getting out of bed is a little bit more challenging now. Before I didn't feel that, but like the past 2 weeks, it's been a little challenge. I mean, I'm still getting off, but just compared to before, and so
It's not
this
instantaneous.
it's not. I cannot just go like
It's
whoop and go.
It's a 20-second ordeal.
Yeah, and then even when I'm sleeping, I'm sleeping on my left or my right, and I want to switch position. Okay. It's like all of a sudden it's taking you 2 seconds to go from left to right. It's like, okay, I gotta adjust. I gotta adjust.
Yeah.
And then when I do that too, sometimes I could really feel like my birth canal kind of like stretching or whatever. Whatever it's doing whatever it's doing. My mom told me to just kind of like when I turn to just make sure I keep my knees together before I turn. And that really helped. That really definitely helped if I keep my knees together. But sometimes you're tired. Who has time for that? If I'm sleeping on my left side, I have to sometimes use my right hand to kind of help me propel up, right? Because when I go to sleep, since I'm pregnant, when I'm laying down, I don't just lay down on my back, right? If you walk with a trainer or somebody, there's a way that is preferred, is better, more encouraged to lay down. So you sit and you lay down your side and you come up from there.
So pretty much you roll out.
Yeah.
Instead of just doing a straight crunch.
Yeah, you go to the side and then
and kind of go up. Yeah.
Yeah. If I have a video somewhere, I might have him added so you can see. So
No,
basically,
yeah, it's instead of just doing a straight crunch,
yeah.
you just roll to your shoulder and get up that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good to do that even after you give birth.
Yeah, yeah.
Also kind of help with diastasis recti, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I get up on my right side, it's like a little bit quicker. My right side has been strong enough to kind of like, because I think for a long time I was sleeping on my right side, and I just kept like coming up. So my core got a little bit more stronger. My shoulder on the right side, which was already kind of stronger before anyway, because I favor my right side compared to my left. So when I get off my left side, it's always like, oh my God. This morning I was like, I'm not doing it. Oliver, here, hold me, get me up. Get me up. And now also, if I lean over and bend over instead of squatting down, this baby's like not happy, and it will just like push back. So, and then I feel like now the movements are almost on command. Like if I kind of like do something, tap my belly, something like that, or whenever Oliver put his heavy hands on me, I feel like the baby always just like, nah, those hands are too heavy, maybe. I don't know. But the baby is moving quite often now. Almost like, I don't want to say really on command, but like, quite often.
It's almost, well, when you touch, it's like a
Yeah, it's like
the feedback
like
happens.
a feedback.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
happens,
like
yeah.
see, like even like now I'm feeling it. Beside that, those are the only recent symptoms that I have. Yeah.
Yeah, so no loss of sleep. Simone sleeps. The only time she has to get up to use the bathroom. So
Yeah,
she's
but
not,
last night I had a really hard time because
Well,
my mind was going on.
yeah, well, yeah, that's a one-off. But we're talking
Yeah.
about consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has. Well, nothing stops Simone from sleeping or trying to sleep. But yeah, so you're not, because the only reason you get up now is to use the bathroom,
Yeah.
and you don't have problems going to sleep. You might have problems like thinking stuff or whatever. That's
Yeah.
normal stuff if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
weren't pregnant. So that's all. That's normal. So that's good. What else?
No, in terms of update, that's fine.
That's it, right?
And then today we
Okay.
went
So
to.
today, I said, is that you want to say anything else?
Yeah, if I remember something else,
Okay.
I added. But yeah.
But yeah, so today was kind of an eventful day. So today we saw, again, we're still seeing the midwife weekly. And today we had a midwife appointment, and we also had a lactation appointment.
Yep.
So we'll talk about the midwife appointment, then we'll talk about the lactation appointment. Then we'll just give our feedback about the whole process and things like that. Is that cool? Groove, very. All right. So midwife appointments.
Yeah, as
Talk
always.
about it.
Yeah, it's I don't know if I mentioned that before, but I think I officially have a doula also.
Yeah,
right?
you mentioned that last one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So my doula was also there at my appointment. So appointment went fine as always. 1 hour, and they checked my vitals and everything. And this time they had to check my cervix.
Yeah.
Right. They have to check my cervix, and they checked and
Well, they weren't checking it. They were just making sure it was all. Well, I guess it's a check. Forget it. Sorry.
Yeah. Medical people, they do what they needed to do. They did what needed to be done, and they were happy. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
So they checked my cervix, and then
And well, before you go into that, so the midwife said that Simone is 50% effaced, right? I'm not sure if you guys know what that is. I know what it is, but look it up. What effacement means in pregnancy and things like that.
okay, she said that, and then she also asked me. She asked me a bunch of questions. She asked me a couple of questions to kind of see where my anxiety level is and what am I concerned with the baby, what am I concerned with the birth and everything. And if I'm being honest, I am not concerned with the pushing out of the baby, like the birth itself. I'm more concerned with what afterwards,
When the baby's here.
When the baby's here, I'm more concerned about my guy making sure that I don't do anything to harm our child. That's what my concern is. And then, so I told her exactly where I was, and then she kind of asked me if I knew where that stemmed from. And then I told her, I don't know if I want to. No, yeah. So I told her where that comes from, and then she gave me, first of all, it was kind of like nice to actually say that out loud. And then she gave me a lot of feedbacks. She told me some kind of like, that she just, she helped me through it, which was really nice because
with things like it's because the birth, the midwives and things like that. It's not a medical field feeling. So you're not going to an office. Okay, how you doing? That's it. Okay, boom, bang.
Yeah.
They're more they want to get into well, the midwives want to talk to you and feel how you're feeling.
It's like mind and body.
Like, yeah, more spiritually.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you don't get that with the hospital. Pff, no. You just you're a number in a chart.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, everything good? How you feeling good? Okay, boom, you're good. But here it's like how we feeling, how we taking things, how's your mental and things like that. So it's more like a spirituality, like it's almost like a circle of women. Like
Yeah.
talk to us, we'll give you feedback on subjects outside of the pregnancy, outside of giving birth and things like that.
And things are actually also important.
Yeah.
You know, and so basically they also kind of like they saw, like I told them what was going on, like what are my fears and everything, and they also talked to you kind of like these are things like, you know, you have to watch out, which is kind of great because I one thing, side note, I honestly I applaud some people who do this alone because I just couldn't do it alone, and I honestly wish that unless people do it by choice, I really wish people didn't have to do that alone because honestly, also like this is our first child, right? Even if you already had it, let's say this is our first child, so none of us have the experience. So we are both going in there almost like we went in this blindly, not really knowing all the ins and outs, right? So, but it's kind of is so great to see that we could have questions and then she could like even bring stuff out of us to kind of help us be there for each other, right? So even her asking me about what are my fear afterwards, and her also coaching all of her, telling like, listen, these are the things you have to look for, and also telling me these are the things that you have to look for, and all of like, you know, all those kind of stuff. Like, let's say I even say like, let's say all of us like in the military or something like that, and then it was shipped somewhere and I'm here pregnant. I probably have like, oh no, I have the financial support that he's supposed to give me, but it wasn't there. And then he just came when I gave birth. It would have never been the same compared to like now, because now he's literally here and then seeing everything that I'm going through. And I feel like that, even though I'm the one physically going through it, but you're also emotionally going there with me.
Yeah.
And then you also, I mean, because I feel like it's so important for your husband to understand what you're going through, right? So, not, I mean, you have to really understand what you're going through, and also kind of like, what can I do? How can I help you? So having the midwives like really kind of like tap into that, like, you know, like into your, like in there, like tap in there and see how you feel and help, like, you know, kind of like let him.
Yeah, because even they said like if I see something in Simone, for me to contact them.
Yeah.
Like Simone won't see it in herself, but if I see like, okay, this is what they warned me about, I have to contact them so they know, okay, this might need us to do something, or we might need a conversation around that topic. So
I mean, something even simple, like sometimes like at first with my ankle, even though they didn't swell too much, I barely noticed, but you're the one who noticed that. So like simple things. So you could go for something as simple as that, or something even a little bit more deeper, right? So it was really nice to have them have that, and also coach all of it, because again, they've been through so many families, they've seen it, so they kind of like have like, you know, they have a whole lot of experience, and they're all about like all our well-being, like my well-being, the baby's well-being, his well-being, like they're all about all that, and also like giving us the tool to help each other.
Like it's like a team.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
like like she's like the coach.
Yeah,
you got your, I'm not wait who no. We'll say she's the general manager.
Yeah.
And the doula's the coach, and we're the players, and and they're making sure we're playing our positions right.
Exactly.
And if anything needs to happen, they'll put in the people that needs to be in place.
And then even today also, it's like we got there a little early. She was still finishing in her apartment. There was another midwife there who
the co-owner.
The co-owner, and her appointment didn't start until I guess maybe the same time. But she took the time. She just came. She sat there with us, and she was just chatting with us, and we were just like talking and talking. So like basically, let's say Kim being my midwife right now, like, you know, let's say the day. I mean, I think they're probably all gonna be there anyway. But the point is like they're making it their business to make sure we know them, they know us, they know more stuff about us. She didn't have to sit down to us and sit down today and talk with us.
When we had a question that, well, you had a question that needed a long
answer, and then she did.
She sat there and just,
and then she really answered it. You know, Allegra. Her name is Allegra. So it's so nice to kind of have that, like that support. You know. Anyway, so like, you know, she, when I told her my kind of fears afterwards and everything, so she told us what to do, and until all of like, listen, look out, like, you know, look out for this stuff, you know, because things happen, anxiety, postpartum depression. Sometimes you might not even recognize it right away, but it's a thing to look for. And then she did that. So I really appreciate it. They took my vital. They said, you know what, everything's going well, to keep doing what I'm doing. And then she said, you know what, Simone, don't go home and wait for this baby. She said, go and live your life.
Yeah. So what she means by that is that this baby's due next week.
Yeah.
The due date, we're on a Wednesday. The due date's next week Friday. That's our 40-week due date. So that baby could come. And on another note, that's the due date, your original due date, but the ultrasound due date is the 8th.
Yeah.
Is the 8th? Yeah. Because
No, was it the 11th?
No, it was the 8th.
Was it 8th?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
the 8th. He said the 8th because remember with the touch your boobies. You remember the paperwork?
Yeah.
The discrepancy we kept with the OB. We kept like
going back
he's putting
and
the 8th and this that. So the ultrasound due date is the 8th.
Yeah.
And the original due date is the 13th. So
Yeah.
this
It's
might
like-
well I won't get to that but we're close.
Yeah, we're very close. Yeah, but she doesn't want us to sit there and just kind of like wait.
Yeah.
Right. She said, Simone, like
pause.
go to the beach, go walk around, just don't catch COVID.
Yeah.
She said to just kind of like go and then keep walking and doing but just not sit there. She said, even when like the contraction starts, it's not gonna be like okay, yeah. So she said to just keep to keep active and to just keep doing stuff. If I have like if we could go on a date, on a lunch date, on a breakfast date, dinner date, to kind of just keep doing that. So that was really nice. Yeah. And then, so they checked my vital, they checked everything that was going well. I restocked on all the vitamins and everything that I need to get, that I needed. They gave it to me.
They did their check on the baby with their hands
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
exactly. To kind of check
Make
the
sure
position.
the position and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
They like the position.
Yeah.
So literally this baby's been in the same position
for
this whole
that's just
pregnancy.
your baby.
Yeah.
It's like Oliver can sit down in place for a minute. I
Yeah.
mean, he's gonna move a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna
but
twitch
you gotta
around.
Yeah,
like
but you
me
can
right
sit
now.
here you can sit here for a long time. Yeah, like I said, they checked my cervix. And yeah, that's they say like before birth the cervix kind of like behind, but as you get closer, the cervix has to move
Simone's
forward.
Body's transforming.
Yeah, it's
and
transforming.
rearranging itself.
Yeah.
Madness.
Because yeah, and also we had a chiropractor visit.
Oh yeah,
before.
early on Monday.
Yeah, he also kind of said the same thing with my hips because he said like you start like this and then you start moving.
Yeah.
Something like this, right? And then
No. He does that.
okay.
He wings it out.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
I don't know. I feel like he does like a thing.
I
Yeah,
hear you. I see you.
I think he said on one side is a little bit moist. They're never really the same. So he gave us a prediction. He said, I don't know. We're gonna see him tomorrow, and he said depending on what we sees tomorrow, the child might come on.
Yeah, on Monday or Tuesday.
And what's happening on Tuesday?
And Tuesday's my birthday, so we kind of predicted this.
Yeah, I mean, especially you.
Yeah.
Since we met, Oliver kept
Since we start these videos.
Yeah, even before the videos, you
Oh,
always.
yeah.
Since I met Oliver, always say, I know I'm gonna have a bunch of girls, and they're all gonna be born around my birthday.
Yeah.
All right?
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah.
we did the chiropractor. We're still going to that one. He's doing the alignment with Simone's hips. He's saying it's progressing. So we'll see what happens with that. We have that tomorrow. What else?
And that was basically it.
Yeah, that was
with
basically
the
it. I mean, the appointments are the same. Right now, it's just checking up on Simone, make sure she's feeling good.
Yeah.
Right. So right now, everything has been going smoothly. So make sure Simone's if she has any questions. That's really big is if you have any questions.
Yeah.
That's the big thing now. They do the measurements and stuff like that. Do you have any questions?
Yeah,
Anything you're
and to
not
make sure
of?
how am I in there?
Yeah.
Like am I how's my stress level? If I'm I'm still drinking my prenatals, my vitamins, all
any
that kind
new
of stuff.
symptoms or anything crazy going on. That's that's their priority right now. But right
Yeah.
now everything's been going smooth.
Yeah, but I love how they ask you the same question over. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't know, you were great last week. We want to make sure you're great again this
Yeah.
week. So that was that.
Yeah. So before we go to the next topic, one thing about the birth center we go to, the Kendrick Space, LA, they're pretty much like a network for women that are pregnant. Like, I'll go into that after the next thing, but I have a whole spiel I want to say, but we'll do after. So we'll do after this conversation. So after the midwife appointment, we went into the lactation. We had a lactation consultation. And when I say we, because I didn't know I was gonna be a part of it. I thought it was just be Simone go in the room and have a talk, but I was in there, so it's all good.
Yeah.
And that was interesting. A lot of this stuff is interesting. But again, that's my rant for after this part.
Yeah.
So we saw a lactation consultant. This one, it was in a clinic. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, the midwife referred us to her because she has classes and stuff like that. And Simone missed the class, so we saw her for a one-on-one, and which was covered under our insurance. So we don't have to worry about paying it.
Yeah.
And she sat down with us and gave us. She didn't give us like the thorough one like she did in her class because the computer she had didn't have sound or whatever, but she literally told us what's going on, why this happens.
I know.
It's like a lot. There's so much learning going on with this pregnancy. Like I doubt people go through what we're going through.
Yeah.
On a regular.
Yeah.
I mean, you have your we'll say maybe 2 out of 10 people, couples go through this, but it's a lot of.
Yeah.
I'm learning a whole lot about pregnancy, and this lactation was no different.
It's also crazy how it's like the nature is not stupid.
Yeah.
Like the nature intended certain things to work a certain way. And then, yes, we get so happy with technology, but sometimes technology is also hindering us.
Yeah.
Our
Our technology created shortcuts.
Yeah, create a shortcut.
And
but
it was meant to be a process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes those shortcuts end up not being beneficial.
Yeah, in the long term.
In the long term.
Yeah.
So I went in there not knowing what to expect. I
Yeah.
went in there, I had only maybe 1 or 2 questions, right? Because somebody that I know had mentioned something, and then I mentioned the same. I mentioned that to my midwife. She said, no. She said, you know what? Okay, ask your lactation consultant when you see her. So I only had mainly one question.
Yeah. So pretty much, lactation is breastfeeding versus pump.
Yeah.
Why and when?
Exactly. I mean, I did bring my pump, and then she showed me how to put it together and everything.
Yeah, but that wasn't. That was like a small part of the visit.
The thing.
The other one was just hitting us with just info.
Yeah. So where do we start?
Where do we
right?
start? Let's start.
Let's start with, first of all, it's crazy how your body changes already, right? I started to feel like this milking, smell. Like sometimes I ask Oliver, do you smell that? It just kind of feel like no matter how I shower, it's kind of like I feel like, I don't know, it's like some kind of milk production thing is happening.
So it's like, when the funk hits me now, I gotta go take a shower.
It's not a funk. So the first thing she said, she asked me, do I feel the smell? I said yes. She said the first thing, she told me to stop washing.
No, not stop scrubbing.
Stop scrubbing, even with soap. She said water is enough to wash
just run off.
To run off like this part of my boobs where my areolae and nipples are. Areola.
Yep.
You
got it.
So to stop washing that, she said, you could wash everywhere else, but over here, just let the water.
Scrub
to stop doing that, which is kind of like I was doing it, right? She said there's a reason for that because, so she said stop doing that now. So,
so she wants Simone to be funked up.
That's a lie. That's not a term. There's a certain smell that. Oh, I don't smell. Okay. All right. So anyway, so there's this thing called the golden hour in the hospital, which could be very short, but given that I'm in a birth center, it's going to happen as long as it needed, right? So basically it could be from 30 minutes to 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. Mm-hmm. So what is it basically, right? When you give birth, when your baby comes out completely.
Yep.
It's very crucial for your baby and you to have skin to skin, right?
Yep.
So what they do is depending how long your umbilical cord is, right? If your umbilical cord is not too long, then maybe the baby might be resting around your belly. But if your umbilical cord is long enough, the baby's going to be resting kind of like sometime in the middle of your chest, right? So they put the baby on your chest. If you're in the water, they take you out, they lay you down, they might cover you a little bit. Now, first thing first, when they wipe the baby, they only wipe the baby's back, whatever the butt is. They don't wipe the hands.
Yep.
Why? Because they say that liquid, that amniotic fluid, right? The smell of it is the same kind of smell that's coming from your nipple, right? So, and then we saw the video. It's so cool because you see this little baby, who just like a couple of minutes old, right? Like I said, the process could take from 30 minutes to like 1 hour and a half.
Depending on the baby.
Depending on the baby, right? Depending also if you took any kind of
Oh yeah.
any kind of medicine to help you
medication. Yeah.
medication. If you took the medication, the baby might be a little bit more
Woozy.
loosey, like compared to if you didn't take anything, for instance, right? That's one of the
Mm-hmm.
things that could slow down the baby. So they put the baby in a certain way. They say you don't dry the hand because the baby might even like put their hands on their mouth, which is totally fine. They smell it, whatever the case is. And the baby, we literally saw the baby kind of like crawl,
Yep.
like move by itself,
Yeah.
by himself or by herself, move to the point where they eventually find the nipple.
Yep.
I'm just like, shut the front door.
Yeah. So
It's so cool to see.
yeah. So that's one of the videos she showed us.
Mm-hmm.
Now to sum it up, what Simone was saying. So when it's a lot.
Yeah.
But when the baby's born, you put the baby on the mother, and the baby is instinct is to crawl to your breast, to your breast.
Yeah.
It's instinct to do that. But the thing
Yeah.
is, it's a process. It could take 30 minutes to
Yeah.
an hour for the
Yeah,
baby to go
yeah,
through
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And as the baby's doing that, Simone is passing the placenta,
Placenta, that's when yeah.
which and when that happens, the baby goes up and the baby starts latching on.
And then what she said what's good is that when the baby doll lashes on, that also help with the birthing of the placenta. Mm-hmm. So it's like she said, like
It's-
all the hormones are basically kind of like
Yeah,
working
so
together
Simone watching it, feeling it happen, has a chain reaction.
to
for
like hormones
everything
and
else going on.
everything.
Yeah.
You know, because like you have to like one. She said what's keeping me pregnant right now. Progesterone and estrogen,
Yeah.
right, is really really high. Like
Prolactin.
prolactin is very very low. So the placenta has to come out for those two to go down
Down.
and lactin to go up. So as your baby lashes, it kind of help with the placenta also to go down. And then she said like sometimes like people want to rush the baby, like you're not supposed to. You
Yeah.
because almost it's like a
It's
like a chain reaction.
Yeah,
It's like
it's if you're trying to picture what Simone's saying, think of when you see those sea turtles crawl through the sand to get to the ocean. That's exactly what it is. Baby hatches, comes out the womb, and has to crawl to shore, crawl to Simone's boob to survive.
yes.
That it's the baby's first instinct is to crawl
Yeah.
to the boobs, and that's it.
Yeah,
And as the baby's doing that, Simone's body's going through the changes to support it when it does go to the boob.
Yeah. And then it's kind of, she said sometimes like in the hospital, it might be rushing and just kind of like put the baby there. But she said it's supposed to work like that. That's
Yeah.
just something that I just never.
Yeah, the baby's supposed to be wet, hands and all.
Yeah.
And just the baby, like she said, babies might go and stop,
Yeah.
then go
Rest and
again.
yeah.
The baby just might go commando and just go straight
Yeah,
for it.
yeah.
But it comes a time where the baby goes and just finds its way, which is why, again, in pregnancy with women's areolas, they tend to get darkened because babies are pretty much blind,
Yeah.
but they could see that.
Yeah.
So
Bullseye.
So that's what she was teaching us. Like, why? It's funny that she was teaching us that in a clinical setting because you can't really do that, and you have to ask for that
Yeah.
in a hospital.
No, that's what she said. They
She
call
said,
it it's golden hour.
The golden
you
hour.
have to like ask,
So
like
you have
keep it
to.
up.
So people that haven't given birth in the hospital, ask for that. Ask
Yeah.
for them to put it there. Ask for
The baby
for
to
the
kind of
golden
like
hour. Yeah.
yeah, to make sure they don't wipe the baby. I mean, you could look into that first before you
Yeah.
decide what you want to decide.
But that's
so-
another thing to advocate for yourself in the hospital.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. So that was really cool. And it's kind of crazy because I mean, like literally this baby just got here 2 or 3 minutes ago and a baby, but I'm like, it just makes so much sense because like, why would the nature make us, I mean, it's just so beautiful, I think. So she told us that, okay, so now the baby's going to lash, right? The baby lashes start sucking. And she said like the first maybe day or two, whatever is coming, I forgot the name of what's coming. It's not,
Yeah, I forgot to.
it's milk, but it doesn't have any fat just yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
She said that's really important because it's going to like act as a laxative for the baby. She said sometimes you're going to see people think like, oh, as soon as the baby lashes on, oh, they produce so much milk. She said that's BS, right? It's not supposed to produce that much milk. It's supposed to be like only a few things, not much. And that is really important so that the baby could kind of like, it could just flush the baby out. I didn't know that. And then also I had a question because somebody whispered to my head, like as in, at first your your pressure, like your liquid might not be too much, so maybe you should bring your pump and then pump like within a couple of hours when you're there. She said, nope, you don't want to do that, right? And as a matter of fact, she does not even want me to pump at least for like a good 2-3 months unless I really really have to because of like life work and all that kind of stuff. She said no, the baby, the skin to skin contact, all of that is really really important for your milk production, for so much stuff and everything. So she said like she wouldn't advise me to pump unless I really really have to. She said the baby's gonna latch. She showed me the different ways of like holding the baby,
how to latch
the baby and all that kind of stuff, right? So she said
it's literally like how to do it, like boom, Make sure you don't
like go to the baby. You have to bring the baby have to bring a baby to you. I have to be comfortable and everything, and then bring the baby. Like she showed like it was really really detailed. Oh, and before even that, she kind of do like a chest exam first to make sure my boobs are fine. Thank you. So she did all of that, and I was thinking about something that she did. I forgot. But anyway, so she told me like no pumping unless maybe life happened, whatever. And the reason why it's so important for us to have that time with the baby, and then she also said sometimes like people start producing milk, and you have to produce. Yeah, she said I cannot let the baby go more than like. She said by 3 hours already, baby is sleeping. I gotta wake the baby up so the baby could get that milk.
I think it was on the 4th hour.
Yeah, like by the fourth hour, the latest, And she said sometimes like people start producing milk, and then something happened, life happened, they go a week without it. When they come back again, then they stop.
Yeah.
She explained to us the reason why and all that kind of stuff happened. I forgot, but
no, just the capillaries. I think it's capillaries. They close.
They close, something like that.
Close,
yeah.
It's like a muscle. It's not being worked. It atrophies. So.
Yeah. And then she also kind of like show how to massage the boobs.
Yeah.
And then she said, especially if I end up being transferred to the hospital, they're gonna hook me up on the IV right away. And sometimes that liquid could be stuck here. So she talked about that.
Yeah.
But like we learned so much from. It was just 1 hour, but we learned so much. And honestly, I want to like see her again. But she gave me all. She said, go let that marinate. If you have more questions, I even have another class this weekend.
And also. I'm assuming she's a doctor.
She's a nurse.
She's a nurse. Sorry, she's a nurse, and the midwife that we saw is her mentor.
Yes.
So she's a nurse, and her mentor is our midwife.
Yes,
for lactation.
Lactation, yeah, exactly. So I went to her now, but the good thing is kind of like even during our session today, like the midwife said, don't worry, when you have your baby, we're going to show you all the different positions, even if because she say you're going to want to sleep when the baby sleep. We're going to show you how to even do that when you lay down, because I'm going to be in a big bed, right? It's not going to be like a little twin bed. It's going to be like a nice, I think there's a queen size bed. So they're going to show
the
birth center. The birth center is just basically, it's an apartment. It's a beautiful apartment. Come down. To kind of like calm you down, to put you at peace. So they say like, once the baby's here, they're going to like do all of that. And then it's kind of great that my midwife is also a lactation expert, so I'm gonna have all that on deck. But it was just so amazing. I was just like, I went in there not knowing what to expect. Like I said, I only had one question, right? And like
it was everything, information, hands on how to do things.
And there were a couple of questions she was asking about my body. I was like, I don't know. Yeah. But you knew.
Yeah. Simone.
And then she what I like is like everywhere we go, they always include you.
Yeah.
They don't just be like, they're not, if you're there, you're going to be in this class.
Because she asked Simone what's her plans. And Simone's like, I want to breastfeed hopefully for the first year.
Yeah.
And she looks at me like, so what's your plan? I'm like, whatever she says.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like whatever she wants, whatever she wants. But it's crazy that she asked me because I guess she's ran into a situation where the husband didn't want that.
Yeah, like
that's crazy.
That's very crazy, And then she asked me, do I feel like do I feel in general that he's supporting my decision? I was just kind of like, yeah.
It's like it was weird being questioned, like of course.
But it just goes back to she said like this, and then she said now we have to ask. It's kind of like even when she have to ask you, because she call you the dad or the husband, people call it, whatever the case is, So she included it in everything. There's some question asking me, I'm like, I don't know. She'd be like, you should know.
Yeah.
And then exactly. So that's really nice to, like I said, it's like we are going through this together.
Yeah.
Like even though I'm physically going through the changes, but you could see the changes. You know, like you're an active
Yeah.
participant. You know.
And that's the thing, especially when it comes to medical stuff. Like I'm your what's it called? Your witness, or what's it called? Like when someone asks you a question you don't know, they're gonna come to me next.
Yeah, yeah. About I don't know, emergency
forgot it was-
contact, whatever the case.
Yeah,
no.
whatever. Yeah. So I'm that person for her, and she's that person for me. And when we
Yeah.
have the child, we're that person for the child.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Advocate.
So,
There we
yeah,
go.
advocate. That's right.
So I have to advocate for her. It's like she
Yeah.
doesn't know a question. Like I better know it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You know, and I think that's kind of like that's amazing because honestly, there's no way I would have done this alone. Like I just wouldn't. I couldn't, and I'm not going to. I wouldn't do it.
You set yourself up so you don't have to.
Exactly. Like if it was, yeah, I wouldn't even be here if I wasn't married, and then also if I wasn't married to this guy. So it's kind of nice to sometimes like, and the midwives, they love you so much because
Yeah,
like,
because I'm so. Well, that goes into my
Your
little
thing?
rant
Yeah.
that we'll do after this. But
yeah, so that's why when the lactation lady,
yeah,
it was so,
it was cool. It was good.
really, really cool.
Yeah. It's okay. Keep going.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even know. We're just so educational, and it's just kind of like, wow, the nature is really.
Yeah,
It's like you don't need to rush the baby up. Like you don't. We literally
everything happens for a reason.
For a reason,
Yeah.
like we saw the video, you saw the baby moving a little bit, and then sometimes baby will rest, and then move to the pool, like find the nipple, and then find it.
Yeah.
I'm like, shut the front door.
Yeah,
This is so cool. So, yeah, that was today's second appointment. So
Yes, second appointment.
exciting stuff.
Appointment with the midwife first with the lactation consultant.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so now that was our day. That's our update. Now just get into.